Well, good morning or good evening, as usual, depending on where or when you're watching this. For me, it's right about pushing up on 11 o'clock Saturday morning. Had a great morning with the family. Laid in bed and watched my baby sleep for a little bit while I went through a couple courses I've been meaning to get to and hadn't had a chance to yet. I'm just rambling a little bit, let things get built up, let people get jump on if they're going to get on today. As you jump on, if you could for me, say, give me a quick hi and where you're from, just so I know you're on here. I know I'm not. Hey, Udom. I'm actually, I plan on using something that you were talking about yesterday on the video today. Good morning, Joe. Good to see you on, sir. Thanks for jumping on. If for those on here that don't know Udom does a Straight from the Heart series where he talks about his different insights and shares his perspectives, and that's a young man that really has a lot of passion and a lot of drive to himself, and so if you ever get a chance to check out his videos, it's well worth it. He's a very inspiring individual. Cheers to you, Udom. Miss Sheila, saw you jump on. I see my baby's on there. Beautiful day today, right? Perfect weather. If it were up to me, we'd have the windows open. My baby likes things a little bit cooler. Sometimes it feels like we're playing temperature wars in the house. Anybody else have that going on where, you prefer a temperature way different than your spouse? She loves things cooler. No, Udom, it's well deserved. So I really appreciate the energy and the motivation, the inspiration that you provide as well. You're definitely somebody I follow. Good morning, Miss Anna. Thank you for jumping on this morning. I'm going to ramble just a little bit longer, let things build up a little bit more. Look, my baby's laughing at me. Lord bless her heart. She humors me so much. I know I got to drive her crazy. Baby, I love you. Oh, man. We got a big day planned today. Got the breakfast with the family done. We're going to go to the church bazaar. Hey, Chucky, great to see you, sir. Thanks for jumping on. Going to go to the church bazaar this afternoon. Wanted to get this video knocked out. I know I got a meeting at 12, or a phone call at 12. I know I got some messages in the log that I will get to. You too, Miss Anna. I hope you're having a great day. Den, thanks for jumping on. Great to see you, sir. Really appreciate you jumping on. Okay, so I'm going to get to it. And today was one of those days that this was a message that, and one of the reasons, besides spending time with the family, doing breakfast, all of that, but one of the reasons it took me a little bit to do the video today is because this is a message I've been playing with for a while, and trying to find the articulation in it. I'd love to be on your podcast show, Udom. We'll set that up behind the scenes, sir. I appreciate that. And I'm just that easy to connect with, I promise people. I talk to people all day long. Just reach out. Just talk to me. I mean, that's, right? That's what life is about, right? So anyway, this was a message that I've given it in pieces, especially the first one. I talk about it a lot, but it was really hard for me to try to find the articulation. And so I've really searched long, really had to do a lot of meditation on it and a lot of focus on it. And I think I finally got it. And these are the three understandings that piece by piece, step by step, and I moved through the phases of getting to these understandings as the process went on. This wasn't something that I started, the journey didn't begin, the journey of my transformation, the journey of my change, the journey of where I'm at now in life didn't begin when I finally got all three of these. It was as I developed more of an understanding of each, I progressed further and further in my journey. And that now that I have the understanding of these three, the better I am at applying them and at putting them into play in my life and how I govern myself and the self-discipline I maintain and the things that I'm building, the more that I apply, the better I get at applying them in every choice, every decision, every action, the further I get in my journey. And so these, I think that when it comes to, really getting to that point in life where you've had enough, where it's like, okay, this is all I can take of this life. That I'm not where I want to be. I don't have the things I want to have. Things haven't been working out for me. Things aren't going the right way. I've made horrible life choices. I really want to get things together for myself. That when you get to that part of your journey, that these three understandings are really the core understandings of what all growth branches off of, right? And that the more that you put them into your life, the more that you embrace them, the more that you really live them, the more of an impact it has on the growth in your life. And I know it's a Saturday and everybody's like, wow, really, on a Saturday? But this is a message that I've been working with, and so I was really motivated to give it. And this is all in my humble opinion and my humble experience. Will, thank you for jumping on. Jackie, thank you for joining us. Anders, I appreciate you jumping on, sir. And you know, I don't have the game of going with it. I'm still living life. I'm still learning every day, day by day. I can tell you that I've made amazing changes in my life. I can tell you that I have a trajectory in my life that things are going in the right direction. Get down. And that I want to share that with everybody because I understand that it's usually just small understandings that's the difference between whether you have a happy and fulfilled life or whether, you know, you just don't even want to climb out of bed in the morning. And mindset, I think, is everything. From with the right mindset, with the right emotional state, with the right mental state, you can do whatever you want to. So I think that when it comes to really putting together a life that you're happy and fulfilled, that in the beginning, that the core is mindset. So and I think that these three understandings that I'm about to walk through are really the key to it all. So the first one is one I talk about a lot, right? Is taking full, no excuses given, sole responsibility for your outcomes, right? Until you're willing to really embrace. Good morning, Will. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Tabitha, thank you for jumping on. But until you're really willing to embrace that no matter what justifications you can see behind how things turned out, that in the end, your outcomes, your life, where you're at, what you have, how you feel, everything is it's in your control. You're creating it. You're doing it. It's your outcome. It's your responsibility. It's not anything else's fault. It's not where you're at in life. It's not how much tragedy you've seen. It's not how much you've had to fight through. It's none of that. It's you. You create everything in your life. And you say, well, damn, that's harsh, right? I've been put in situations where it felt like I didn't have no choice. But the truth is, if you hadn't put yourself in those situations, you wouldn't have been there. Right? Or even if it was, you still didn't have to see those situations in that fashion, which is going to lead us into the second understanding. But this is the big one, right? This right here, your journey truly cannot begin until you stop giving away your power, until you stop giving away control of what your future is and what you have in it and where you go with it and what you are and who you are and how you feel. If you stop giving control away to outside things. And yes, it's something that you build into, right? It's something that you grow into. It's something that little by little you're able to accept more of that truth until it gets to the day where it's unavoidable and you just have to look at it like, yeah, I did that. So that's number one, right? Take full accountability. Take full responsibility. If something doesn't go right in my life, it's my fault. It's my fault. Now, that doesn't mean I have to hate myself for it. It doesn't mean I have to blame myself for it. I have to understand that I put myself in that situation to either learn something, grow in some fashion, or strengthen myself in some way, because life is to our favor. We are working in our best interest, even if it doesn't feel that way or we can't see how it is. Right? You look deeper. You find the reason. You find how it's to your favor. You have to. Right? A mushroom grows in the dark and on shit and still grows. Right? Life can grow out of whatever circumstances or situations, but you have to choose that that's what the case is, and you have to take control to grow it. And you can't do that by constantly giving yourself excuses for why it is. So first, take control. Right? The second part, the second understanding that is just so fundamental to me, right, is the pieces of how a decision is made. And when I say a decision, I mean the decision of how you feel. The decision of what action you take or don't. The decision of how you see things or not, right? All of these are decisions, right? Because we already agreed that the first thing we do is we take responsibility. So the way that we feel, we choose to. What we do or don't do, we choose. Not what got in the way, not what stood between us and what we were trying to do. Not none of that. We already agreed we're going to take full responsibility, so therefore what we do or don't do is our choice. What we feel or don't feel is our choice. What we accomplish or don't accomplish is our choice, right? So understanding how we make our choices was huge to me, right? And the first part is, what do you focus on in the decision? Now, mind you, most of our decisions are made in 30-second intervals because most of us run so much on autopilot that we don't even think no more. We just access the tape and we run with the program, right? I talk a lot about subconscious programming and how the mind works and ingrained pattern behaviors and, you know, neurophysiological patterns. And I talk about that in a lot of videos. But understanding that most of these decisions are made just off those patterns that we've already formed. And the first part is understanding, well, what goes into those decisions? If I could slow down that 30-second reaction period, if I could slow down when I actually made the choice, if I could stop looking at the symptoms of the choice and find the root of when I made the choice and see what pieces went into that choice. What are those pieces, right? And it's 3 of them. First off, what do we focus on? What in that circumstance is it that caught our attention, right? Haven't you ever had somebody come to you and tell you a story and they tell you what they got out of it and you be like, huh? Hey, Miss Callie, great to see you. You'd be like, huh? How'd you get that? And then when they told you, you'd be like, oh, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. Okay, I get it now. Right? So first off, what do you focus on? What are you focused on in the situation, the circumstance, and whatever the decision that you're making at that time, from how you're going to feel to what you see for your life to where you're going with your life? What are you focusing on? What is the focus of it? Then 2 is, what does that focus symbolize to you? What does it mean to you? Because different things mean different things to different people, right? The same thing can look different ways to different people. And the truth is, the way that somebody sees it, no matter how much you can't understand how they see it that way, that is their truth, right? People that have built themselves from nothing, the billionaires that have grown themselves from the most humblest and tragic of beginnings, look at people that haven't done it like, well, how do you not see how you're not doing it? Because their reality gives them a different perspective. They see it a different way. So what is what you're looking at? What does it mean to you? And you get to choose these things, right? What you focus on, you get to choose. What that means to you, you get to choose. And then how does that make you feel? Once again, we get to choose, right? We took full responsibility. That was the first one, right? The second one is understanding how we're making these decisions. Right? Because once you understand how you make a decision, you can see how many pieces of that process you really have sole control over, that you really can decide, that really in what you decide they represent completely changes the shape of what you're looking at. You change how you look at something, you change what you're looking at. Right? Stop looking at life in a fashion, stop choosing to look at life in a fashion that gives away all your power. That gives away all your power. Because that's the only way you're ever going to get the power. Right? We can't wake up and cry about our lives. We can't wake up and cry about our circumstances and then not do the real work, sweat, and tears that it takes to change those circumstances. Because, look, the value is in the process. It's where the strength is built. That's where the understandings are gained. That's where the insights are sharpened. The value is in the process. So we can't just wake up and cry about our lives and then say, oh, well, I'm stuck here. Well, then stop crying. I'm sorry. I'm not cold-hearted, but some things there's no simple answer. Stop crying. You can't choose to keep seeing yourself as a victim. You can't embrace the victim persona and think that something's going to change. Or that your needs are really getting met by being embraced in that persona. It's not meeting your needs, because the third understanding is what just, man, one of the biggest blessings next to my wife and my children I've ever had in life. The understanding that we are all intentioned to grow. We're all meant to grow. We're not meant to shrivel on the vine and die. We're not meant to stay trapped in these cages of hopelessness and desperation and disempowerment. We're not meant to see ourselves in this fashion. It goes against the very nature of life. Life is expansion. Life is growth. Life is growth. And until we realize that we're meant to grow, that we're meant to hold ourselves to task for the hard choices and the hard understandings and the hard insights and the hard processes, not to cry about it, not to mourn the fact that we're handed these challenges, because while we mourn it, you'll never gain from it. If you look at it like it's punishment, you're never going to see the beauty. If you don't look at how strong it's making you or what it's teaching you or leading you to, if you curse the sun and the soil, how can you get a crop? How can you get a crop? We are meant to grow. Life is to our favor. We've just been lulled into sleep by being told constantly of how to be or who to be or what to see or what to like or what to look at. We giving away so much in such an ugly process to things that don't give two squirts about us. We are too beautiful for that. Life, the greatest gift of all, for without it there is no other gifts to come. Life was meant for more than that. We are all beautiful. We are all powerful. We are all one. And that's the truth as I know it. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this Saturday. I appreciate it. If you found any value in this message, if you know anybody that needs to hear this message, please like, comment, share. Get this out. Help us discover our beauty. Let's change the world. It starts right here. All right. I love y'all. Have a great Saturday.